My mother-in-law called my cooking bird food because she does not like that I cook vegetarian meals, so I called her out on being the size of a fridge and kicked her out of my house. My mother-in-law has always had something rude to say about my cooking, and it's quite ironic because she's shaped like a full moon, and everything she eats is fast food. Basically, she's fat. I am not one to fat shame, but after the way she's been treating me these last few months since I've become a vegetarian, I am ready to air her dirty laundry out. I am also quite slim, and she has always made fun of me for that. I eat well, I exercise daily, I take my vitamins, and every time we go out, she comments about what I order and says that I look malnourished and am shaped like a pencil. Well, during the holiday my husband wanted us to host something for his family, so this weekend I invited his family over and I informed them beforehand that I would be serving them a vegetarian dish. For appetizers, I made a wonderful cheese board, and then I cooked an eggplant lasagna as the main. The second my mother-in-law waddled through the door, she said that it smelt like earth in my house. Weird comment, but I did not say anything to her. I took a few shots beforehand so that I would hold back, and I was feeling happy so I figured I'd just brush it off. She then let herself into my kitchen and looked at the lasagna pan on my stovetop and asked if I put beef in it. I reminded her that as I mentioned in the initial invite, I would be making eggplant lasagna, and I stuck to my word. She then rolled her eyes as she started waddling back out of my kitchen and walked over to the living room where I had the charcuterie board spread out, and she tried to make a joke to the other guests and said, "Oh wow, looks like we're having bird food as an appetizer." That was my limit. After her constant nagging and complaints over my lifestyle choices, I could not take it anymore. There was never a situation in the past in which I called her fat, or told her that her food choices were slowly killing her and that eating Big Macs and Crunch Wraps 3 times a day was a terrible food choice, but she had all the nerve in the world to criticize me. I got up and stood in front of her and told her that if she was not happy with what was being served, she should leave. I called her out for her constant criticism and how awful it made me feel and how rude it was of her as a grown adult woman to treat me that way, especially considering the fact that she needed to have her pants custom made for them to even fit her. Of course, she did not like being called out, so she turned around and started shuffling over to the door. She looked so ridiculous that I couldn't help but let out a laugh, and I could tell that she was embarrassed that I had put her in her place. She left, and I was happy that I had finally called her out. The funniest part about it was that when she left, the other guests started agreeing with me and saying that they were also tired of her constant negative remarks about others' food choices, and that she had no reason to be such a judgmental beach.